Hello everyone, welcome to the CTV News on Calabash TV. I'm Lisa Joseph. Well, Tuesday, Parliament debated or deliberated on a report that calls for the number of constituencies in St. Lucia to be increased from 17 to 21. Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony made a statement to the House giving reasons for the modifications proposed by the Constituency Boundaries Commission. He said the Commission's report was prepared by the government and the opposition. The government was represented by the SLP General Secretary Leo Clark and Castries Mayor and Attorney-at-Law Ms. Shirley Lewis. The opposition was represented by former High Commissioner to London Mr. Eldred Stevens and Attorney-at-Law Leon Theodore John. The Speaker of the House of the Assembly, Peter Foster QC, served as chairman as mandated by the Constitution. The report is expected to be made available to the public once Parliament has finished its deliberations. The realignment of the boundaries is in keeping with a national average of between 6,300 to 9,500 people per constituency.
The Babonneau constituency be reduced from a population of 12,848 persons to have an estimated population of 9,321 persons by removing the areas from the Shock Valley region of Babonneau, including Balata, Kabish, Timon, Union, and Union Terrace. That the Castries Central constituency be increased from a population of 7,274 persons to 8,490 persons by including the areas to the east of the Castries Central constituency that were formerly from the Castries North constituency, thereby creating contiguous communities in Bois-Patat and Mondudon, and also including the community of Cedars and Sunbelt, while dismembering the areas of Sanssouci and Barnard Hill that will revert to the Castries North constituency.
The Castries East constituency is to be reduced by transferring the areas of Wavin Chabot and Bocage to a reinstated Castries North East constituency with a population of 8,722.
The Castries North constituency be reduced by transferring the areas of Cedars, Sunbelt, Upper La Panse, Upper Bois-Patat, and Upper Mondudon to the Castries Central constituency, and Almondale, Egadlands, Mondudon, and Balata to the Castries North constituency, while adding the areas of Sanssouci, parts of Lance Road, and Barnard Hill to the Castries North constituency to have an estimated population of 8,216 persons. That the Castries South constituency be decreased from a population of 9,459 persons to 9,251 persons by expanding its boundaries to the east to include areas of the Mourne, while transferring the current southern communities of the Castries South constituency to the Castries Southwest constituency. That the Castries Southeast constituency be reduced from a population of 14,509 persons to have an estimated population of 7,950 persons by creating a constituency with two population centers, one at Bexar and the other at the northern ridge of the Cul-de-Sac Valley.
Castries Southwest will be created from rural parts of Castries South and western parts of Castries Southeast with a population of 7,074 people.
That the Gros-Islet constituency be divided to create three independent constituencies to be known as the Gros-Islet North, Gros-Islet Central, and Gros-Islet South constituencies. That the Gros-Islet North constituency be formed entirely from parts of the existing Gros-Islet constituency to include areas of Beausejour, Cap Estate, Gros-Islet Town, Rodney Bay, and Rodney Heights to have an estimated population of 8,408 persons. That the Gros-Islet Central constituency span from the Atlantic Ocean to the Caribbean Sea to include areas of Bois d'Orange, Beauterre Gardens, Marisul, Monchy, and Mont-Citon east and west to have an estimated population of 6,578 persons. That the Gros-Islet South constituency be formed from the existing Gros-Islet constituency to include areas of Corinth, Grand Riviere, Monier, and Union to have an estimated population of 8,707 persons.
The Prime Minister stated that the realignment has very little to do with politics, but equal representation for all citizens, noting that certain constituencies were too large. Now, the Castries Southeast MP Guy Joseph called for the suspension of the Commission's report, calling into question its validity.
The report that was considered was not a report by the entire Commission, but a report submitted by, you will have your time to respond. Yes, the Commission, based on this report, is telling me that the report that was considered purely on the basis of two persons submitting a report, and that became the report of the Commission. Mr. Speaker, so that is why I raised the question, Mr. Speaker, of the independence of this report. Because are you telling me, Mr. Speaker, that the contents of this report, because you see what I'm seeing there, that is why I ask about the resources. This Honorable House ought to know that resources were made available to the Commission so that it could carry out its functions free and fair of interference.
According to MP Guy Joseph, the opposition representatives on the commission objected to the increase in seats, arguing that the country's weak economic state could not sustain the change. A letter highlighting the concerns he told the House was forwarded to the commission. And then came the interruptions by the Speaker of the House that became almost expected during the MP's contributions during the latter part of last year.
When I read this and I see as if the Commission considered only one report. Now
you would appreciate, Honourable Member, from that letter that the only thing that was noted there was the cost to the country, which is not a matter for the consideration of the Boundaries Commission. I just thought I'd point that out to you.
Mr. Speaker, I am simply making the point that there was a proposal. Whether it was to be considered or not, I found it strange that it would not be reflected in the report that was submitted. That's all I am saying in relation to this. I'm not saying that the report that was submitted should not be the report that we are debating there. All I am saying is that a position was presented by the other two commissioners, and for some reason I am seeing in this report only that no other proposal was made. That is the issue that I am raising.
And that can only mean that no other one was presented.
That
no other proposal was presented.